Can South Korea really become the next global hub for AI? Well, today we're diving into a super fascinating explainer that takes us way beyond your standard economic strategies. We're talking about blending hard geopolitical realities with a deeply philosophical approach to national development. It completely challenges how we even define what makes a nation a true global leader.
So here's our agenda for today. First up, the AI hub and the Singapore model. Second, we'll look at the limits of pure economic growth. Third, we'll dive into Naegong, which is Korea's inner power. And finally, social parents and global peace.
All right, Section 1, the AI hub and the Singapore model. So, the whole foundation of our source text is anchored by a very tangible, real-world development, and that's South Korea's ambition to host a UN AI hub. Now, this isn't just about building massive data centers, right? It's about creating a central platform where global talent, cutting-edge tech, and international policy all converge. It's a massive opportunity for Korea to lock in a strategic position in the global market. But the speaker asks a really critical question here. How exactly does a nation make sure this becomes a lasting competitive advantage and not just a flash in the pan?
Now, what's absolutely fascinating is how the speaker contrasts Korea's current potential with the historical trajectory of Singapore. We all know Singapore for its incredible rise, right? It successfully pulled in global wealth and top-tier talent simply by providing a super safe, highly optimized economic environment. But the source makes a pretty bold claim. Singapore is currently stagnating. It's basically reached a ceiling, and that era of exponential, unchecked growth, well, it's plateaued. So why exactly did this happen? According to the source, this plateau hit because Singapore focused almost entirely on the sheer economic benefits of gathering global citizens and capital. What it failed to do, and the speaker really emphasizes this, was to effectively operate, manage, and most importantly, guide that massive influx of people. Without cultivating deeper cultural leadership or some sort of higher societal purpose, a nation just can't elevate its gathered resources to the next level. People might be parked there for the tax benefits, but they're fundamentally searching for something more.
Which brings us to Section 2, the limits of pure economic growth.
The speaker actually warns, very emphatically, against falling into the trap of envying countries just for their bank accounts. The text makes this really profound distinction between simply accumulating wealth and actually shining. If you're building economic wealth without leveling up your cultural and spiritual development at the same time, that wealth remains dim. It can't truly radiate outward, and it definitely can't sustain itself in the long run. Basically, unguided economic growth is a dead end.
So that begs the obvious question, doesn't it? If just being a safe financial haven isn't the ultimate golden ticket, what exactly is the roadmap for South Korea's success? If the old model of just offering tax breaks and shiny new infrastructure has a hard ceiling, how does a nation break through that to become a true, sustainable global hub?
And that leads us straight into Section 3, Naegong, Korea's inner power.
Okay, to really grasp the speaker's proposed solution here, we have to unpack a central concept in the text, which is Naegong. Naegong translates roughly to a profound sort of inner power or strength. The speaker describes it metaphorically as this accumulation of quantum energy within a population. It's an internalized capability built up over time through intense learning and spiritual maturity. And according to the source, this is absolutely essential if a nation actually wants to manage and lead the world. Without this solid inner foundation, any external power is just going to collapse.
The text actually lays out a super precise three-step playbook for national ascendance. Step 1, the citizens themselves have to build up this Naegong, this inner power. Step 2, once that power is cultivated, it allows the nation's culture to truly emit light. And then step 3, this cultural light acts like a massive gravitational force. It's not about forcing people to come. Instead, it naturally and inevitably pulls in massive global resources, top talent, and serious capital.
And this just brilliantly illustrates the speaker's core metaphysical concept. You see, energy and wealth aren't static. They're deeply migratory. They're always on the move, looking for the absolute best place to set up shop. And sure, while they look for safety first, their ultimate destination is always going to be where the light is brightest. If a nation can provide an environment that isn't just economically secure, but is culturally luminous and fundamentally beneficial to humanity, well, global capital literally has no choice but to flow right there.
Let's move on to our final part, Section 4, Social Parents and Global Peace.
The source introduces this incredibly transformative concept called social parents, or sahoe bumo. This is essentially a direct call to action for individuals to step up and act as genuine caretakers for society.
A social parent isn't just someone living for their own survival or trying to get rich. Instead, they're someone who prioritizes guiding society and doing the hard work for the broader benefit of humanity.
These leaders share a few key characteristics. They gather together purely for the societal good, completely throwing out any selfish, cartel-like motives. And the speaker claims something pretty extraordinary here. When people get together with the pure intention of serving society, they don't even have to beg for success. Instead, they naturally attract what the text calls heavenly energy. Think of it as this universal support or immense natural momentum that basically hands them everything they need to get the job done.
So, the text projects a very clear timeline for the nation. Right now, in the present, the citizens need to take on the mantle of social parents. Moving into the near future, this collective inner power will actually allow the nation to initiate genuine global peace efforts. And the end result? Well, if Korea takes on this massive societal duty for the world's wealth, the absolute top global leaders, and the brightest minds in AI will organically and effortlessly align themselves with the nation.
Which brings us to this powerful quote from the source that just perfectly captures the speaker's ultimate paradox. It translates roughly to, "Do not envy money. If we do our jobs well, massive economic prosperity will follow." It's such a striking pivot from traditional economic advice, right? The argument here is that obsessing over wealth actually repels it. But if you focus entirely on cultivating your inner power and fulfilling your duty to humanity, the economic rewards are going to be unimaginably vast.
So, this whole explainer really leaves us with a profound, provocative question. Instead of constantly asking how we can outcompete everyone else to become the richest nation on Earth, shouldn't we be asking if we're actually prepared to guide humanity forward? The true AI hub of the future might not be the country with the most servers, it might just be the country with the most luminous culture. Definitely something to chew on as you process the insights from today's explainer.